Hello everyone. So for today, we're gonna tackle about the advantages and disadvantages of investment. When you say financial and investment is a have a benefit that you place cash into with the expectation that it will develop or acknowledge into a bigger entirety of cash. So a couple of most widely recognized sorts of financial investments are the CDs and bonds, which pay enthusiasm to the proprietors, and financial investment alludes to setting aside a settled measured of cash and expecting some sort of increase out of it inside a stipulated time span. So next is the sort of financial investment. So there are like nine option for you to do the financial investments, namely the mutual funds, the fixed deposits, and the bonds, the stocks, the equities, the real estate, or we call it like residential or commercial property. And we also have the gold and silver. It's a really good way of investment, and some valuable precious stones also is also applicable for the financial investment. So taking of qualities of financial investment, we have the financial specialist won't be occupied with maintaining the business in any event that the length of organization is beneficial, and he is acquiring the normal profit for investments. In the event that a financial speculator observes the promoters to be ineffectual, then the financial specialist may try to name distinctive supervisors to run the organization. And also the speculator depends to a more prominent degree on the current administration themselves. So this is similar to key financial specialists. So for the above reason, the additionally need proceeded with earnest of the current administration of the organization. So for the most part, don't give an exit to the authors or existing administration. So they additionally will not be occupied with a controlling stake typically. And usually they don't buy shares from the current shareholders, yet purchase shares which are newly designated along these lines, infusing reserves into the organization as development capital instead of giving ways out to the current shareholders, which does minimal good to the soundness of the organization. And financial specialists want that your business ought to in the long run get gain, and by a vital speculator, or it ought to make an opinion of it offers. Then the financial speculator puts resources into number of organizations, realizing that a portion of the investments will return in favor, while the other may do not a great degree of grit, and they likewise attempt to request certain rights, which will guarantee that they can purchase greater stakes in the organization if the organization performs well. And speaking of, let's financial investments are now right now the most mainstream investment vehicle, and give a few favorable circumstances to speculators, including the accompanying the advanced portfolio management. So one needed to pay an administration expense as a major aspect of the expense proportion, which is utilized to employ an expert portfolio supervisor who guides you in purchasing and offering stocks, bonds, and so forth. This is generally little cost to pay for help in the administration of an investment. And the next is the dividend reinvestment. As profits and other premium wage is pronounced for the reserve, it can be utilized to purchase extra offers in the common store. In this manner, helping your investment develop. And the third one is the risk reduction or safety. So a decreased portfolio hazard is accomplished through the utilization of diversification. As most shared assets will put resources into somewhere in the range of 50 to 200 distinct securities, relying upon their core interest. If you record that Common Finances claim at least 1,000 individual stakeholder or personnel. And then the next one is the convenience and fair pricing. So shared assets are normal and simple to purchase. They are generally have less or low less investments. For example, some around 2,500 or 2,500 dollars, and they are exchanged just once every day at the closing net resource value, or we call it NAV. So this dispenses with value change for the duration of the day and the different average opening that informal investors own. And then the next one is the odds of good returns in short time. So indeed, even in the past, individuals have increased good profits for their securities exchange investments, and they generally have a decent opportunity to acquire enormous benefits, which when one chooses to put resources into securities exchange. In this way, when you put resources into securities exchange like India, in spite of the fact that you put yourself at a ton of dangers, you are likely in a position to acquire great returns in a very time frame. And then the next one is the minority ownership. So all things considered, it sounds like a mispresentation. Yet when one put his or her cash in a rumored organization stocks, one moves towards becoming turned into a section proprietor of the organization. Regardless of however little offer they have, one can enhance remaining in the market by placing cash in various organizations. In addition, you can exit at whatever point you need to. And then moving on, since we talk about the advantages of financial investment, there's also some disadvantages for this, because like example, the high expenses ratios and sales charges. So if you're not paying attention to mutual fund expense ratio and sales charges, they can get out of hand. So be very careful when investing in funds with expense ratios higher than 1.20%, as they will be considered on the higher cost end. Be wary of 12B to 1 advertising fees and sales charges in general. So there are several good funds companies out there that have no sales charges. Fees reduce overall investment returns. The next one is the management abuses. Churning, turnover, and window dressing may happen if your manager is abusing his or her authority. This includes the unnecessary trading, excessive replacement, and selling the losers prior to quarter end to fix the books, and tax inefficiency. So, like it or not, investors do not have any choice when it comes to capital gain payouts in mutual funds. So due to the turnover, redemptions, gains, and losses in security holdings throughout the year, investors typically receive distribution from the fund that are on uncontrollably tax event. Next is the poor trade execution. So if you place your mutual fund trade anytime before the cut-off time to same day NAV, you get the same closing price NAV is for buy or sell on the mutual fund. For investors searching for faster execution times, maybe because of short investment horizons, day trading, or timing the market, mutual funds provide a weak execution strategy. Then the volatile investments also. This is the one of the disadvantages of financial investment. The investment in BSE is subjected to many risks since the market is volatile. The shares of company fluctuate so many times in just a single day. So these price fluctuations are unpredictable most of the times, and the investors sometimes have to face several losses due to such uncertainty. And the last, this one, the brokerage commission scales profit margin. Of course, every time an investor purchases or sells his shares, he has to pay some amount as a broker's commission to the broker, which scales the profit margin. Of course, commission. And time consuming, it is the last disadvantages of financial investment, because investment in NSE is not as easy as investing in a lottery, as you have to complete many formalities in the process and hence is time consuming. So conclusion, therefore, financial investments are made with the future expectation of making only financial returns in terms of cash flow from the company in which is investment is being carried out. So the investor relies to a greater extent on the existing management themselves, unlike the strategic investors. So the term investment can be used to refer to any mechanism used for the purpose of generating future income. In the financial sense, this includes the purchase of bonds, stocks, or real estate property. Additionally, the constructed building or other facility used to produce goods as can be seen as an investment also, and the production of goods required to produce other goods may also be seen as investing. So I think that's all for today, and thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from me. Have a good day.